today's vlog, I thought that I would just show you guys my fish tank. This is my largest fish tank at 20 gallons, and it's the first one that I have in my apartment. I just cleaned it today. So in this tank we have a blue female beta, a green glow light tetra, we have a striped dwarf gourami, 3 redfin tetras, and then if we can find them, we also have a striped loach to keep the snails in check. I also sometimes pull snails from my other tank and put them in here. And then we also have an albino bristlenose pleco. Let's see if we can find the loach again. Oh, there he is. Little cute guy. I've already fed them for today. It's the afternoon. So all of the plants in this tank are real. The only fake thing is this rock right here. I originally got that for the beta, but she doesn't like it. So it just stays in here. We have a shell from the beach, and all the rocks in here, the large ones anyways, are also from the beach. I boil them before I put them in the tank, make sure that they don't fall apart or anything. We've got some plants here in the front that move to the back, and then we got a little short one. I've actually forgotten the names of all the plants that are actually in here. I know that I have 4 different kinds, plus the duckweed on the top of my tank. Helps keep the toxins down. Then we just have an LED light with just a filter that has Fluval Biomax beads in it. These are some new ones at the top because I just put together a new tank. And then we've got just a standard heater in here. The bottom of this filter actually broke today, and I had to glue a new filter piece onto the old filter piece because they don't fit together, which is quite a bummer. I've had this tank for almost 2 years now, I believe, but all of the fishes in here aren't quite that old. The beta fish is the oldest. She's over 2 years old now, crazy enough. We've only had 102 deaths. I used to have another female beta. Unfortunately, she passed away. The 2 betas actually got along, and I never had any issues. Then the dwarf gourami, I had another one at first, but he ended up passing away, so I got this new one. So yeah, this is my first largest tank, and then I'll show you the 2 other tanks that I currently have as well. This is my newest tank. It's 4 platies and then 2 Cory catfish. I was trying something different and decided to put the main plants in little pots just to see how I liked it. I recently planted grass here in the black sand substrate. We have 3 female platies and 1 male. I just got these platies, so they're kind of still working through the old food from the pet store through their system. But we have a female bumblebee platy and then a sunburst Mickey Mouse platy, I believe. And then we have a male Dalmatian platy that has the orange tail. And then the last female platy was unlabeled, just in a mixed tank. She's kind of like pearly on the sides with a black tail, so I thought she was really pretty. Don't know the names of these plants either. This one I got from a friend, had to plant that in rocks. Then we have a moss ball though. But the grass on the bottom is just standard dwarf hair grass. And then we've got some hornwort in a pot. And then on the top, we've got a larger form of duckweed. I'm kind of liking it a lot. Haven't really, it used to be in the larger 20-gallon tank, but I took it out because it had the small duckweed in it. Just a standard LED light again. The tank, I believe, is a 15-gallon tank. And on the filter, I have a sponge intake because I'm hoping to get some baby platies in here. On the first day, I saw one the day after I put them in, hiding in here, but I haven't seen the baby fish since, so I'm not sure if it's still alive and hiding somewhere else or what. For the filter, it's just a Tetra filter that also has the same Fluval Biomax beads in them. I prefer these because you can just rinse them off when they get dirty and you don't have to keep buying filter cartridges. So all these rocks that I have on the side, I got from the beach the last time I was there. I boiled them all before putting them in the tank, obviously. The smaller ones actually were just from the pet store, so those aren't super exciting, but all the larger ones I got from the beach, scrubbed them off, boiled them, make sure they were all clean. I'm hoping that I'll get some baby platies soon that I can show you guys, because I specifically chose a bunch of different colors in hopes that I would get like, ew, she has, gross. Maybe I should feed them less. I don't feed them too much. I think only a pinch of like flake food. I did feed them bloodworms today instead, so maybe that was it, what caused it. All of the little dwarf hairgrass in this pot were just like singular strands I had left over from planting the rest of them, and I'm curious to see if they will continue to grow or just die off. Probably gonna need to clean this filter soon. I wasn't quite sure how a sponge filter would work. I've never used one before, and it seems to collect quite a bit of the roots from this larger duckweed. On the top, I just have a piece of acrylic that I bought offline, and I used the like score and snap method to cut it. So there's actually like quite a bit of open space here, only about maybe 2 inches that goes all the way down, which allows me to feed them in the back, but it makes like a really nice clean lid. The only bummer is I'm realizing that the heat from the LED is just enough to make it bow a little bit at the corners, which if I flip it over, it would bow back the other way. It could just be cheap acrylic, I don't know. It was like $10 on Amazon for like a 12-inch by 24-inch piece, so not that worried about it. The lid that originally came with this tank, well actually this tank didn't come with a lid. It has the standard 10-gallon size lid, which I stole from my parents' house. Well, it was mine originally, but I took it back because they weren't using it anymore. But that lid is just really old and disgusting, so I decided to just go with a piece of acrylic for this one. I like how you can see all the duckweed in here, or whatever type of species it is. I've forgotten already. Got it from a friend. Yeah, let's see if we can find the catfishes. Oh, I see one in the back. He or she is hiding. I'm not sure how to sex catfishes. If anybody knows, that would be great. So one of them is like a little bit larger than the other, and that is the larger one. He's closer, or she is closer to the side of a platy. And then the other one that I got, oh, he's right there. Nope, you can't see that. He's right over here. And this one's a little bit smaller, but still pretty good size. I can probably keep you guys updated on how this aquarium goes, and if I see more babies, you'll definitely be hearing about it. But now let's move on to my third tank. So this is my third fish tank. It's completely custom. I built it myself. It holds, I think, between 3 and 4 gallons of water. It's an all shrimp tank. Right now we have just a like random cherry crystal shrimp. There's an Amano shrimp in here, and oh, there's the Amano. And then there's also a yellow shrimp in here, just a standard yellow dwarf shrimp. There's quite a few snails in here, but I don't mind because I occasionally pull them out and feed them to my loach in my largest tank. To build this tank, I basically called up a few glass shops in town and asked if any of them would custom cut glass, and I think I got all of these pieces for around, I want to say like $30, and then I just bought some silicone off of Amazon and just glued up the sides. So all the rocks in here I've also gotten from the beach, except for this large one in the back. That one right there I got from a friend. I have a problem with collecting rocks when I go to the beaches, and so by putting them in my fish tanks, I don't end up having them in my room or like just on the table. There is a piece of driftwood in here that I got from a local pet store because I was having some pH issues, got that to lower it. Also removed a few shells that were in here. I've been having an issue with the hair algae growing, which is why I got the Amano shrimps. Unfortunately, only 2 of them made it the first week. Not sure what happened. I think they were just stressed from the pet store, and then now I only have 1 left. I never saw the other one died. I never saw its body. But I'm not planning on getting any shrimp anytime soon because I don't spend a lot of time where this tank is, which is my apartment, crazy enough, because I spend most of my time at my boyfriend's house, and I think it's just irresponsible to continue to get more shrimp because my shrimp tank is my highest maintenance tank. Anytime that I'm home, I spend time working on it, whether that's pulling algae out or doing a water change or cleaning the filter. It just requires the most maintenance, and these shrimp have made it through most of that, so I've decided to just leave them be and not like put them into one of my other tanks where they could get eaten. I just feel bad because there's only a few of them in this tank, and I know they would be better in a larger community. Granted, it's only 3 to 4 gallons, so I'd only get probably like 3 more or so. I did have blue dream shrimp in here for a while that I got from a friend, and they reproduced for a little bit, but there was something wrong with the water. I had like a random pH spike, and so they all started dying off, and I tried to fix it, hence the driftwood. But I was finally able to get everything stable again, but by that time all the females had passed off, so I only had males. And then it's been almost a year, and so I didn't know the age of any of the shrimps, so I'm pretty sure the rest just passed from old age, unfortunately. It's kind of crazy because I have hornwort in here, and I don't know what's causing it, but it's like growing a pinkish color instead of just the normal standard green. I think it must be the light that I have. Granted, it's just like a standard LED light, but I'm not sure why it's causing it to be so pink colored. Built all these little hiding spots for the shrimp to hide in. Granted, there's only a couple of them now, and the Amano shrimp prefers to stay right next to the driftwood. this little red one I actually got by accident in a bag with the other shrimp that I had bought at that time, and it was so small. It was probably like a newborn, maybe that day, and it somehow survived the acclimation process and has grown. Granted, he's pretty clear for a cherry shrimp, so, but I didn't have to pay for him, and I got him for free, so that's a win in my book. So these are all my fish tanks, starting with the largest and working our way down to the smallest. In this fish tank, I also just have the Fluval Biomax beads, so everything's pretty standard in them, just a heater. But yeah, these are all my fish tanks. Hope you enjoyed them, and I'll keep you updated as things change. Bye-bye. And I realized that I still have 2 Amano shrimps. So we have this one right here that's hanging out on the driftwood. And then we have another one that I just found hiding underneath this little rock right next to the cherry one. And I thought at first, well, maybe the white one had somehow like lost pigmentation, because I literally looked for so long yesterday and I couldn't find it. But the yellow one I thought lost pigmentation. But I realized today that the yellow one we still have right here, chilling by the filter. And then we have the Amano shrimp that likes to hang out on the driftwood, the little baby red guy. And then underneath the rock, we have the other Amano. So I still have 4 shrimp in my tank, which is great because they need to take care of this algae issue that I'm having. So that